How's it going, my fellow shiny Pokemon? Shiny Snorlax here, bringing you guys Pokemon Showdown OU fight, and as always, please send me UU teams. I haven't got any, but it will be really helpful. I want to upload some UU battles, because UU is pretty cool, you know, stuff like that. But other than that, I think Team Fury will be down in the description below. Yeah, and let's get to the battle. Opponent, I lead off my Gengar. Opponent leads off with a Rotom Wash. I switch out into my walls, originally predicting special attack, but no. Opponent goes for a Will-O-Wisp and bans my walls. Opponent brings out its Metagross, and I go for a Seismic Toss, knowing that anything will take a decent amount of damage. I switch out into my Egon, predicting a physical. I don't know what I was predicting, to be honest. But I go for the Shadow Ball and take out the Metagross. Opponent brings out its Crobat, and I go for another Shadow Ball, thinking it'll take it out, but it does not. And opponent goes for an Air Slash. And I do switch out into my walls, because I know this thing's a special attacker now. And actually forgot what I did here. Opponent goes for a Toxic, and I go for a Seismic Toss. And up next, I switch out into my what's I gonna do, predicting an Air Slash, and I was right. Alright, what's gonna happen now? Opponent brings out, goes for a Heat Wave, trying to get the burn on me, but does not get successful, and I go for a Swords Dance. Opponent switches out into its Rotom Wash. I go for a Shadow Sneak, knowing that I'll barely do it, and it barely did anything. I bring out my Gengar, get almost no damage off on the Rotom Wash, and opponent gets a burn off on me. Opponent brings out its Crobat, and I almost take it out with my Shadow Ball, but that's not enough. I go for another Shadow Ball and take out the Crobat, and the opponent brings out its Rotom Wash, and I go for another Shadow Ball and take it out. Opponent brings out its Malamar, and I go for a Shadow Ball and get the special defense raised for my special defense drop from its ability, and opponent takes me out with a Psycho Cut. I bring out my Wub and switch out because I remembered special defense boost, and I bring out my Armor Titan, thinking that this thing is a physical attacker. Opponent goes for a Topsy-Turvy, and it fails because I did not raise any of my stats. Opponent goes for a Destiny Bond. I decide to go for a Whirlwind because that special defense raise scares me a bit. Opponent brings out its Floor, and opponent full switch out to its Flora Queen, and I set up my hazards. Opponent goes for a Calm Mind right now, and I set up one layer of spikes. Opponent goes for a Wish, and I go for a Whirlwind, and full switch out its Chestnut. Opponent goes for a Spiky Shield. I predicted Spiky Shield, so I went for another layer of spikes. I go for another layer of spikes just to get that full hazard up on it and ready. I decided to switch out, knowing that there might be Spiky Shield coming up, and bring out my what's I gonna do. But I was wrong. Opponent goes for a Brick Break. Opponent goes for a Spiky Shield now, and I go for a Swords Dance, try and get my attack raised up a bit. Opponent goes for an Aerial Ace, really surprised because usually fast Pokemon no Aerial Ace, but I go for a Swords Dance, getting myself up to a ×3 attack. Opponent goes for a Seed Bomb, and I go for a Swords Dance to get maximum attack. Opponent goes for a Spike Shield. I pretty much had no option but to attack, and I get hurt from the opponent's Spiky Shield, and I go for another Shadow Sneak and almost take out the Chestnut. Opponent goes for a C-Bomb, and I survive it. And opponent goes for another Spiky Shield. I predicted the Spiky Shield, so I went for another Swords Dance, knowing that it'll fail. Opponent goes for another spiky shield, but it fails, and I go for another shadow sneak. The opponent brings out its Malamar and has its Take It out. And the opponent brings out its Flora Queen, and I take it out with a shadow sneak, and that is a good game. So yeah, that was a pretty decent battle right there. So yeah, like, comment, and subscribe to become Shine Pokemon, and I'll see you next time.